Threescore and several years ago, a person was brought forward. That person would be me. It was with the idea that all things are not equal. It was with the idea that not everyone is a winner. It was with the idea that not everyone is a loser. And the best that we can hope for is to die in our sleep. With these truths being self-evident, I have a daydream. That daydream is to lead this nation, nay, this world, into a glorious future of mediocrity. A world where every household will have an endless supply of toilet paper, and where all of our Australian brothers and sisters will never be considered below us, even though they are down under. A world where our Canadian allies will never have to say, "I'm sorry," just for being Canadian, or to be ridiculed for not knowing that their bacon is just ground ham. A world where the British, will never have to be reminded that they had to ask the Yanks, the Canucks, the Aussies, and the Kiwis to bail them out of not one, but two world wars. A world where the French will never have to speak French again, so that everyone can understand them when they say, "We don't surrender," and they can fight for their own freedom. I am Lloyd Mendenhall, the Grumpy Blogger, and I am running for president in 2020. And I approve this message. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show tonight. Let's see if he is sitting in the wings waiting. So, anyways, I had planned on having an opening a little earlier, but I wasn't finished with what I wanted it to say. So, look for that at the beginning of next week's show, or maybe just a standalone video, or both. But with that said and done, I want to welcome everybody to tonight's show. I think we got a couple of things in store that Mel's brought up, and I will just go ahead and bring the man with the golden voice, the man with the scraggly beard. Oh, wait, that's me. Anyways, the guy with the good beard. Here he is, none other than Mel 400 AGL.
Well, hello, good evening. All
Hey.
right. Hey.
So how you doing, Mel?
I didn't have my sound effects on, so I didn't play my own applause.
Oh, and I forgot to turn mine on. Yeah, I know. I'm just sitting here looking.
I'm turning mine on now.
I'm turning mine on, too.
Hello, everybody. Dennis, T-Bird, Jim, John F., Steve Carpenter, Ron.
There you go, Mel.
Mr. Hope. Thank you, sir. Hello, everybody. Hello. How you doing, Lloyd?
I'm doing good. Judy had a rough night again, so my night was disturbed. I don't know what time I went to sleep, but I woke up. Well, I did wake up before noon.
You need to start giving her stronger tequila. Hello, Bob.
I guess, man, something.
Start spiking her evening coffee.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Tea.
Yeah.
And mine's looking pretty scraggly here. You were right.
Well, not like mine. Mine's just bad whiskers. And Judy's been on to me. Hey, let's say hi to some of the people in the chat while we're sitting here trying to decide what else to talk about.
I've been doing that, but
I've been typing to them, but I like to call them out. So anyways, we got Steve Carpenter, Agent K, Chris Hope, and right behind that, we have Jim, Above and Beyond Drones. We have Grant, Mr. Stay Drunk. We have Dennis Lovelady, which you've mentioned. Thunderbird 6, can't forget Glenn. Let's see. We got Nightbot. Wait a minute. We got Ron Lockwood. And let's see. Anybody else sneak in while I'm looking at this?
Casey, John F.
Oh, Bob Casey. Yeah, I saw John F. come in, and Bob Casey is here now, so awesome. So what wonderful and exciting things did you do today? Just go to work?
Well, just went to work. Yeah, I got to figure out what this is all about. Anyway, do that later, I guess. Leave the squirrel sit in the cage.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's
just,
it. Yeah.
I got about a half a day in today, and I didn't have anything to do tomorrow. I was hoping for a day off, but instead I get to go up to the Northwest Territory and run up there and clean up after them guys.
Hey, so. This is going to be one of Grumpy's words of wisdom. Well, maybe not, but anyways, light travels faster than sound. That's why some people appear bright until you hear them speak. Went right over his head. He's looking at the chat.
Actually, that's pretty good. Yeah. And I don't know what you did to your audio, but you killed it.
What?
No mic, Lloyd. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
No mic.
I don't know why. It's showing it's going out.
Oh, it was mine. Sorry.
You had clicked off. You clicked off of me and didn't have my audio turned on your vMix, did you?
Yeah, and when I clicked back to bring it back, it because it's not in the broadcast screen, it's in the preview screen. It didn't automatically.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
That's why I have
One
an
of
on.
those.
Yeah, I have an on and off button. See, Dennis hears us both. Yeah, he figured it out. It was. I can actually say this. It was a short between the headsets.
Yep.
Because I don't have headsets on.
Yep.
Oh, look at there. Who we got? Okay. Now, it looks like we have none other than Mr. Greg Osbydrone. And
it's still ringing.
Yeah, I don't know why it does that. Just hang up.
That's because you got Skype on multiple devices.
Yeah,
but we can hear you this time, Greg.
Well, yeah.
Well, Mel, earlier on, I just wanted to say you never sounded better before.
Oh, thank you so much. Let me do this again for you. Let me do this for you, just for you, Greg. I'm gonna hold this up where you guys can see it, and I'm gonna push the button.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Sounds perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just for you, Greg. Just for you.
Mel's getting all religious on air. He's doing the Presbyterian thing.
Yeah, Presbyterian thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So how are you, Greg?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to call in and say hi. I don't have anything revolutionary to share. Usually I've got something interesting, a topic or whatever.
Right, right.
I guess the interesting thing of the day is I'm installing a UPS at home on my internet service. So when everyone else has a power outage, I'll be able to keep using the internet for an hour. So that'll be a good thing.
There you go. Yeah.
But the only question is, does Telstra have a UPS on their part of the internet, or is it going to go offline if we lose power in the area?
Yeah.
Well, I've got my modem and everything plugged into a UPS now myself.
Yeah.
The internet is plugged into it. My PC's plugged into it. My main monitor's plugged into it. Those are the three things I need to have working if the power goes out.
So I turn on, my desktop machine is not going to be powered by the UPS. Hang on just 1 minute. Sorry, I was distracted.
Oh, okay.
Where was I? Yeah, the computer, the broadcast computer.
Down there.
Yeah. The broadcast computer doesn't go through the UPS.
I don't know what that was.
Mel, there was something licking your ear. Yeah, I'm not going to have the main broadcast computer on the UPS, but I want to keep the internet there so that when when and if something goes bad, I can use my laptop to get back on the air
Right.
quickly. So that's my
Yes.
plan for disaster recovery.
Oh, I probably should get
Well,
something like
I
that.
did the main PC. I did mine, and I got a second UPS for Sonari's machine, just because, you know, the sudden drop in power is just not good for all that stuff.
It's not,
So
I agree.
if you're
But
using a
having said
laptop, you
that,
have a built-in battery supply. You have a
yeah,
backup system basically. But when you're
mm,
using a standalone PC, it's I just don't like things going kaplooey like that, you know?
the good thing is though, unlike the Windows operating system, Mac OS has file locking, so it's a lot safer.
Yeah.
Doesn't help the components
That's true.
in a
It does
power
not help.
surge or a power failure,
Actually, it doesn't matter because if you've
and
got
it's
an
still
SSD
fruity.
disk, if you've got an SSD disk and everything else is the same as pushing the off button when the power goes off. The only thing that used to be bad is when you got a hard drive and you got the platters and you've got files that are open and not properly written to disk. But we don't have the problem
Right.
on Mac computers that they have on Windows machines because of their inferior operating system.
Well, everything is solid state in my machine, so basically it's the same hardware. So,
Yes.
Yeah, it's just the software that's different. Because as a matter
Yeah.
of fact, Apple started using Intel chips anyways. What,
They
6,
did. But
7 years ago?
here's a story of the day for you. Exclusive story. You ready?
Yeah.
My rumor tells me that there's going to be the next generation of Macs, and in fact, potentially other brands as well, are going to start going to the same type of chips that you've got in your phone. So at the moment, the computer
Oh,
are complex instruction set computers, and they're moving to reduced instruction set computers, which rather ironically is what Apple used to have when they were making them themselves and they wanted to save some money by doing what everyone else was doing. That was the absolute right thing to do at the time. But here's the reason why they're going to change. Complex instruction set computers can't keep on getting faster because you can't keep on reducing the size of the wire
right.
and
So they're
the
going to
connections inside.
so they're
Yeah,
going to
but you
like the
can,
bionic chips that they use in cell phones. Or,
yeah.
yeah,
Anyway,
that makes
watch this
sense.
space. I reckon it will happen soon. They've actually already got the chips in there, but they're kind of a co-processor at the moment. And
Right.
I think they'll turn that around and they'll become the main processor. There's already a few little bits of code in there hooking in. So anyway, we're
Oh,
not here to
cool.
talk about computers. I just called to say hi. And
Well,
well, stick around because you said you
oh,
didn't really have a really good story. It just so happens that we have one, so you're going to want to see this. Remember the university that did the test with the Phantom drone and fired it like a missile at an airplane wing in a controlled environment?
well,
Remember that?
they fired a what? They fired
the
something that
drone.
was in a canister,
Yeah.
all strapped up in a certain configuration so that it could create maximum damage. Is that the one you mean?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the one I mean. That's
Yeah.
exactly the one I mean.
Okay. Yeah.
I have some video that I'm going to share that will totally debunk that particular video for those that actually believed it to be true and correct.
And who's that?
I've got actual video of
No,
an
no, no. Who's
airplane.
that? Who is the person who believed it to be true? Is there
Oh,
one
there was
out
a
there?
lot of people that were saying that video was, you know, that would actually happen if an airplane struck a drone.
Speaking
Yeah.
of which, I've
Most of them
still
were.
got my copyright complaint on that one that the BBC sent to me, even though I was doing a proper critique of it. But anyway, another story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to
Well, the
glance at
good
the
thing
video.
is at this point, Lloyd's not monetized.
Yeah.
So if at some point that he does become monetized, and I talked to the people that own this video and told them that we were going to show it and share it and spread their word for them. And if they had a problem with it, I gave them a link to Lloyd's show and said, come on in and tell us you don't want us to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
if they
Let's
don't
have a
show
look.
up, we're going to play it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah. Don't
the
go off and do
first
something
one
else.
is-
Watch the show for a little while.
Okay, so you want me
Yeah.
to stay here now on screen for showing this, or I'll just... By the
sure,
way,
you
there
could,
you
yeah,
are.
because it would be, wow. It would be,
You at your folks' house?
it'd be good to be able to
Yeah.
hear your comments, rather than having you try
Tell
to
them I
type
said
in something.
hi.
So,
They were listening to Mel and they got bored and they left the room.
Yeah. Yep.
no doubt.
There you go, Mel.
I'm kidding. They had to do something else.
Absolutely. So, this video.
Let me put.
I think I need this one.
All
Let me
right.
make sure which one I got playing here.
Okay. Let me put you on full screen. And.
Yeah, this is the one I want to play
All right.
first.
And let me get
because
his audio on. Okay.
everything set.
Yep.
Okay.
All you got to do is hit play on your side.
There's quite a delay to the YouTube feed.
Yes, there is.
Megérkeztünk a Szatymazi repülőtérre. Igazából egy ütközés kísérlet fog történni. A háttérben állnak ezek az Antonov 2-es típusú gépek. Ezekből az egyik fog ütközni egy drónnal, 9 akciókamera, szuperlassítós kamera, egyéb más.
They're going to have 9 different cameras. One of them's a slow motion camera.
Mi nem nagyon csináltunk ilyet, szerintem ők sem. Hát meglátjuk, mi fog történni. Felrakunk egy 17-120.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip through a lot of the setup. They mark the wing
Valahol ezen a részen fog ütközni.
where they want the pilot to try to make contact.
Csinálj már ilyet valaha
It's a
valaki?
biplane, so even if it does rip a huge hole in the wing, it's not going to bring the plane down.
Éles környezetben próbál valaki drónos éles ütköztetést csinálni.
And Greg, your mic is hot.
Egy ilyenben
Okay,
még
that's
szerintem
smart
meg
of
vagyunk, és
doing
ebben még
the
bele
test
tudtuk
with a
propolni
biplane. I like that.
Szárnyat, hogy nézd,
Yeah.
hogyha annyi látszik, aha, ez beszéljük meg. Jó, akkor neked megvannak a
So the first pass they make,
ami csak nem egyszerű.
let me see if I can speed this up a little more.
Elméletileg ilyen még nem csináltak a világon, legalább
Métert másfelett el fogja tolni.
The first pass is going to be
nyitni rajta egy
with balloons
fordulok
so that they can see if the pilot can actually
ez
make the contact with the target with his wing.
Nekünk úgy van, hogy 8 másodperc
I hope I didn't
amit rögzítünk.
go by it.
Tehát 8 másodpercen belül történik. Én a
Yeah.
crash után fogom megnyomni egy olyan 1 másodperccel.
Értem.
Tehát crash, és utána.
Utána vissza tudsz dolgozni.
So there's where here's the slow motion shot. So the pilot pretty well gets it nailed pretty close. Now he's flying at about 150 knots.
Okay.
Hogy láthattuk, ahogy a Lufit eltalálta a gép, tökéletes magasságot választott. A kamera is jól szögben állt, a felvétel is jól sikerült, nagyon várjuk, hogy mi fog történni az eszközzel, amit széjjel csap a szárnya.
So they're talking about the camera angle and everything was good, and they go on to talk some more, and then let's move forward.
De mi van akkor, hogyha a motor...
And
ott kevesebb a probléma egy
Kevesebb?
propelleres repülőgépnél, igen.
Tehát, hogy nem tud ilyen
nem.
kábeleket,
Ott nem.
csöveket esetlegesen elvágni.
Ez a veszélyes igazából a gázturbinás gépeknél, a nagy gépeknél. Ott viszont nagyon nagy veszélyt
Tehát,
jelent.
hogyha ott bemegy a gázturbinába egy ilyen
igen,
szerkezet...
ott eleve ugye az approach sebesség az ilyen 130-150 csomó között van általában, sőt a heavyeknél még
I understand.
és akkor ott már komoly problémát okozhat egy kisebb drón.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with him 100%.
No.
Yeah, of course you do.
Dennis, that's about 172 miles an hour. For those that don't.
Yeah, no, this guy wanted to stand behind the plane when it takes off so he could feel the thrust. But here comes the moment. The pilot misses the drone. It hits the cross tie wires.
Oh, man.
What a waste of a good drone.
Yeah, really.
And notice the drone really looks a lot like a Phantom. The gimbal assembly and everything.
Yeah.
Now I know one of the drones they use is a SEMA.
Szóval ezt a pontot
Yeah, well, SEMA wouldn't do as much damage as a Phantom would, because they're a whole lot lighter weight.
egyáltalán nem, csak
Okay, let's zip it on. I want to see the big one.
Okay,
Come
let's
on.
see if we can
Let's cut to
move
the
this
chase.
forward some more.
ez meg volt.
Yeah, somebody's got to go get their Nana nap.
Ennek hangja is volt.
Tudja, hogy a szárnyal találta el.
Gyorsan cseréljük, légkavart.
You know what would be really cool though? I would love to see someone get the chassis of, a wing mounted on a rail device that you're able to go and repeatably move it. That went below.
Now notice it went just slightly above the drone. The wing did. The drone went below the wing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
wait till you see.
Of course, because the Air Force is a, yeah.
Az
Yeah.
elcsaptunk egy Phantom 3-ast.
Yeah, it's a Phantom
Alján
3.
végezte szegény. Most pedig egy
And
sima márkájú
Have you got another one where it hits dead on?
emelkedik a levegőbe.
It's
Ez a gépbe
they
sok
miss the
kárt
wing.
nem
They end up hitting the
Szerintem a
strut.
festéket se fogja lehozni
Right.
róla.
But the Phantom
Jól mutat majd.
actually did
Széjjel
damage
csapódik.
the wing. This one I think is the SEMA drone, and
Yeah.
the pilot has the wing a little low,
right?
and it hits the strut, the
Yeah.
wing strut. But
Hí, de nem marad sok belőle.
the drone
Yeah, that's the
disintegrates.
SEMA. Yeah.
Okay, so later
Ez jó, mert az idúc is egy...
Kimaradt belőle.
they're picking up pieces and talking about if your drone gets hit by an airplane, it's just going to end up in pieces. But they do.
No shit, Sherlock.
Here's where the,
Pedig
let me back it up just a hair, because they show you, that's the impact of the SEMA. That's what the SEMA did
Right.
to the strut right
Right.
there. It cut one wire and scratched the paint. Okay, now that's a structural piece. It's molded aluminum and it's riveted together, the two halves and all that, so it's reasonably strong.
Right.
But
ez a kis szima is
wait till they show you
elég komolyat tud
what the
csapni.
Phantom did.
Itt pedig látjátok, hogy az előző
Okay, it didn't penetrate the leading edge, but it didn't hit the leading edge. It hit below it.
kísérletnél
Yep.
a Phantom
But you will see
3-as milyen sérülést okozott a gépen azért.
a spot.
Ahhoz képest, hogy 1,6 kg szépen végighúzta.
They'll
az alját.
show.
Itt látszik. Elindult a bulivonat, mi meg rajta vagyunk.
The kid points it out. See, that's the Phantom without the gimbal on it on this one.
Do they have a front-on full collision to the leading edge of the wing?
Do what?
What was that, Greg?
Do they actually have a full-on collision to the leading edge of the wing, or is it always above and below?
Always above and below. But
Bugger.
they find a spot. Let me see if they show it here. I know they show it. There we go. There's what the Phantom did to the skin. It did make a tear, apparently.
What kind of skin is that, though?
It's aluminum,
Balsa wood.
I'm sure.
Well, a lot of those old biplanes, they're cloth
Yeah.
over wood.
Well, it could be a fabric.
Yeah, it's usually some sort of fabric over wood with paint on top of it. You know.
So, look, I think it was
he
a
says that
good
it-
exercise. It was a good exercise because you've got safety because of the biplane factor, but I want to see a leading edge hit. And the challenge is it's really difficult to do that. And I think this actually proves something really cool. The air currents pushing stuff above and below, even if
Yep.
it is close to hitting the leading
Yep.
edge, you're going to
Yeah.
pull the bird
Yep.
up or down.
Yep. Which Mel, I think you argued that
Yep.
back, I don't know,
I
last
did.
year sometime, or whenever
Yeah.
that first one came out. You discussed that.
The only question I've got, can someone go and mount a wing on a rail-mounted carriage that's going to move that wing and hang a drone, buy some string, it doesn't need to be flying, simulating hovering, so that you can guarantee an impact zone, and then what's the damage? Show us that. Once I see that, then
Yeah.
that'll make me happy.
Exactly.
I think it's Oklahoma State University actually did something like that, but I'll have to go find it. It's been a while, but I remember them doing something very similar.
Do you want to change the screen rather than the
Oh yeah.
frame?
Yeah.
Well, I've got
There it is.
just one more thing that I want to show you, though.
Okay. All right. One more.
Because
there we go.
there's the rest of it. This is actually the trailer. This is the trailer that they used to get everybody's interest. And I'm going to speed it up. There we go. all four propeller blades hit that drone.
Yeah.
They switch off before the fourth one hits, but if you watch,
Yep.
2,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it would have hit 5. And all it did was scratch the paint.
Yeah.
And they say don't fly your drone into the propeller because you'll end up with little pieces.
That is awesome.
So,
Well,
Didn't
Mel,
Ken do that? He got a big fan one day, an industrial fan, and yeah. I remember
actually,
that
it
one.
was Mel's industrial fan, wasn't it?
Ah,
yes, it was.
Yeah. And it was his brother who actually helped with the
Yeah.
so Mel has the
Ken
drone
Hearn.
smash machine.
yeah. That's
Not anymore. That fan took so much damage. The blades. I tried running that, and it
just wobbled.
yeah, it wobbled so bad that it actually no longer functions.
So yeah,
Dennis
Mel,
called
I
that the
heard
budget Vegematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mel, I heard you had lost a couple of subscribers. You're losing your fans.
Yes, I am. I'm losing my fan.
Oh, jeez, that's just. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, moving right along.
Well,
So
anyway, long
when I
story
found
short,
all that
was nice hearing
video
about
stuff,
it. Mm.
I thought it was really interesting. It would have been better if they could have had an exact leading edge hit.
Yeah.
But based
Yeah.
on the video that I showed on my show last night, against the plastic noggin of a crash test dummy, the body of the Phantom in particular flexes and moves so much that I don't think a leading edge hit would do much more damage than what you saw.
Ultimately, and people have said this before, the mass is the battery, and the battery's going to make an impact. Is it going to penetrate, or is it going to bounce up or down? I think it's going to bounce up or down. Someone's got to actually try it and get. And again, don't go and shoot a drone at an aircraft. No shit, Sherlock. What's going to happen? You don't have the air currents. You don't have the same forces. You're not simulating reality.
Right. Right. The only thing that test did was simulate a collision speed, because then it doesn't matter which piece is moving or both pieces moving. Something's moving 150 miles an hour, two pieces moving 75 miles an hour. You still have 150 mile an hour impact speed. So that's the only thing that really did.
Let me put it into a different example that I know you gentlemen will love. Go and get a gun, shoot it at a wing so that it's going to hit, or suspend a bullet on a piece of twine and fly the plane at it.
Right.
Which one's going to cause damage?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, shooting the bullet from the gun is not a fair comparison.
Well,
the bullet would be traveling much faster than 150 mile an hour.
No, but I'm not comparing the speed. I'm comparing the momentum of the projectile against the aircraft versus the aircraft moving and hitting relatively still, much lighter weight object. That's the difference.
Well,
we had this discussion 2 years ago.
Debate that because
I remember this discussion.
if you run a Volkswagen at 100 mile an hour into a semi truck, the same amount of damage is going to be done to the Volkswagen as if it's parked and you run the semi truck into it at 150 mile an hour.
That's a bad example, Mel, because you don't have a leading edge of a wing with aerodynamic forces pushing it up and down. What I was trying to say is that if you've got the bullet making impact at the leading edge when the plane is moving, the bullet is going to go up or down. It's very unlikely to penetrate if the bullet is standing still when the plane hits it. You see what I mean?
Oh, true.
Yeah.
True.
Whereas
if the bullet is standing still.
Standing still. That was his whole argument on that line.
Well, and that's what I said before. Is the
we're
air
in agreement, Mel.
Pressure.
You're trying to argue against your own.
That's no. I'm just talking about collision speed. But air pressure is what makes a wing work.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what'd you think of that stuff, though? I mean, those guys are on the right track for doing it the right way, don't you think?
They're 90% on the right track. Now they just got to get on the railroad track and have a rail-mounted wing that's very predictable. That would be perfect.
I think instead of letting the drone just set and hover, when the airplane was coming, the pilot should have been looking at the FPV view and adjusting the elevation of the drone to try to make sure it impacted the leading edge. Because all they did was let it hover, and they counted on the pilot to hit it. But even still, it was still a much better test, a much better display.
Oh yeah. Without a doubt, it was a better test than that one done
the drone out of the cannon. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. One of them Yankee states.
Yeah.
One of them universities from them Yankee states.
Hey, before I go, I'll just share you a funny story. You know how we've all seen the shooting a chicken out of an air cannon thing at different aircraft things, and the fact that you can shoot a frozen chicken through a windshield. Well, no shit, Sherlock, as they say. But I just wanted to share an Aussie memory of from my childhood. We've got a TV show, and they had a lotto type segment where instead of numbers painted on ping pong balls in a machine, you had the different sizes of a chicken, and you actually had frozen chicken inside a wire meshed barrel with a hole coming out. And they called it Chook Lotto.
And the different size holes would.
Oh, yeah, I saw that video. Chook Lotto. Yeah.
For anyone who wants a laugh, go and have a search on YouTube
Yeah.
for Chook Lotto. They literally use the chicken size to determine the lottery draw. And of course, you know, being a lottery, they always had to have one other extra ball. They had the supplementary duck.
Oh, my God. I remember seeing, you showed me that video or sent it to me, sent me the link, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, fare thee well. Have a good one.
Okay, take care, mate.
See you, bye.
Good seeing you. All right.
Bye.
And let's go back to you and I. Well, that was a good video. I appreciate you sharing that, Mel.
Good, interesting stuff, don't you think?
It was, yeah. It really was. So I do want to.
And if nothing else, it was cool as hell to watch that drone fly into that propeller.
Yeah, and I would say they're Russian simply because of the name of one of the aircrafts was the. And
yeah, that's why.
Yeah, Antonka. Yeah, it's a Russian airplane. So, yeah, we could ask Agent K. He's in the audience, so maybe he knows.
Not important.
Nah.
I just thought it was very, very interesting, and I stumbled across that today.
Cool.
Anyway,
we don't want to forget to mention a couple of things. One, Xeno Nation comes on right after this show at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Yes, I had to make sure. And I'm going to combine two things at once. And I'm going to do my shout out of the week and explain, or the month. This is going to be the shout out for, what is this, June? Yeah, this is going to be the shout out for June. Unless something comes up. But let me just go ahead and pop into that, and then I'll talk about it.
Okay.
Did I do one last week?
Shut up.
Did I do one last week? Oh, hell.
Yes, sir.
Was it June? Oh, yeah, it was the first, wasn't it? Well, that's okay. I'm going to do another one. Hell, it's my show. I'll do another one if I want to, damn it. Hell, I can't remember. I've slept since then. I'm old. All right. Shut up, Mel.
Yes, sir.
Judy actually said that. What really chaps me is if Judy says, didn't you already do one? No, I ain't done one. It's a new month. Dumbass. Okay, anyways, here we go.
What was that? What?
Nothing.
What
nothing.
was that?
Yeah. And this show is definitely not for kids tonight. The hell'd you do?
I need a better stand for my
You probably do. I've got a table for mine, which reminds me, I better watch out because mine's about to slide off the table.
This one's really good for the smaller tablet, but I keep putting the big one on it, you know?
Yeah. Okay, let's do the shout out while you're adjusting your table.
Let's get her done.
And the reason I picked Jim today is because a lot of you that's been paying attention and follow Jim know that he has, oops, I forgot to do that. There we go. Anyways, he's been dealing with some health issues, and because of the way his income is set up and everything, he's like a lot of people. He doesn't have insurance. And Chris Hope has set up a GoFundMe account for Jim. and I want I also have it. Steve just put it up there, and uh, Jim's one of those guys that does little things. He's, I mean, well, I think he's always going to be somebody special to me. He put together that famous happy birthday video a couple years ago for me, where he got all the guys to say happy birthday. Ken, I still love to watch that. One of my favorite videos, and he got me my first lavalier mic. Just showed up in the mail one day, and he knows I'm forgetting to write stuff down, so for Christmas this year, he sent me about 4 or 5 of these Grumpy Vlogger sticky pads, which I keep one right here so I can remember that. And so I wanted everybody to know, if you've got an extra, few bucks kicking around that you can afford to, throw something in there for Jim, because I know he'd appreciate it. He has to help take care of his wife, and he takes care of his brother-in-law, who has got some physical and handicaps and stuff like that. So, Jim's the kind of guy, he really he was needing another heart test, and he was able to order it today. So, if we can just try and help each other out, it's what we do. And, so I just wanted to do him a shout out, because he's always sending me nice stuff, messages and stuff when he's asking about Judy. And so, we were sitting there one day, and it was when Judy was in the hospital when her lung collapsed. He was going through everything he was having to go through. I was sitting there going through everything how we were going through. And I said, man, this is like an old folk soap opera. It just was that bad, But anyways, let's see. The venue is booked, Coast to Coast Drones. Remember?
Yeah, they're talking about Spin Down.
Spin Down in Dillon, Colorado, September 12th. God, I'd like to go there.
I think it's going to be, it's in limbo a little bit. Bill's saying that the venue's booked for the dates that Sean wanted to use it for.
Oh.
At the
podium,
at the gazebo podium thingamabobber, what's it?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The gazebo or the pavilion or whatever they call it up there.
Pavilion.
Yeah. Man, I haven't been to that part of the country in 20 years since I was up there. And I wouldn't mind, I'd like to go up there, but Judy's health and, be honest with you, with mine, unless my son drove us, there's no way I'm going on a drive like that. That's why by the way, I bought the first, Kelly sent me a thing. I bought the first spin-up ticket. Of course, I bought the cheap one, but, I still got it.
Did you?
Yeah, I got the first one. He sent me an email, said, yeah, you're the first one. So,
oh.
And, as a flight club member, he wants to, it cost him money to get these people in and put this stuff on. And I don't know if he's watching or if he sees this. I'm not worried about getting it for free, because for that, it's worth it to me. This way I get to be part of Spin Up.
Mm-hmm.
So, dates were open to what I heard from Sean. Just need to lock down Saturday the 26th. Okay.
Well, who's got the latest information from Sean? Because there seems to be a hell of a debate going on in chat about it.
Oh.
Maybe I should just call Sean. See what he says today, right now. That way we have
if Sean would bother to watch my show, he could answer it for us, but he's important. He's probably...
Yeah,
he's kind of a busy guy. Actually, I've had some good visits with Sean, so, yeah.
So,
But
Bill, are you saying it's booked for somebody else or booked for? Did Sean get it booked?
he was talking about it yesterday, is why I mentioned it. Oh, okay. And dates were open, and I heard from Sean. Well, it's not
Says, yes, call
September. We
Sean.
haven't even.
All right.
Well, here's the
All
thing.
right. Let's just.
We got a long way to go till September. Shoot.
We certainly do.
So
Let's do this.
Kelly said it was a go last night on his show.
Recent.
No, he didn't have a show last night.
No, he did
See,
not have a show last
yeah,
night.
you had a show.
He
You
did
know,
a post.
you were mentioning about the
He was on our show
Testament. Yeah.
talking about it
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Well, we're about to get it
Are we?
if he answers his phone.
Oh, it looks.
Hello.
Hey, Sean, it's Mel.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, some of the guys are talking about that the pavilion's booked for another group. Give us the scoop.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
For spin up.
I just got off the phone with the pavilion today, and we booked it for $900.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's booked for what dates?
It's a Saturday. I'll have to double verify with Kelly because now you got me double check myself, man.
Well, we're on Lloyd's show, and there's folks in here saying that it's booked for another group, not us, and there's folks saying it's booked for us. So
Yeah.
Saturday the 26th of September.
Yep. That's what
That's
Steve
the
was
date I
saying.
have written down here. How did who else? I'm the only one that lives up here. I wonder who the hell else would even worry about like what the bookings were.
well, Steve Carpenter says he texted you.
Oh, I wasn't sure yet. We hadn't locked it down yet then when I talked to Steve.
And Bill from Coast to Coast Drones is saying it's booked for another group.
He wants to know what.
Kelly said it's a go last night, so I said, well, hell, I can just call Sean and he can just tell us right now what's going on.
And
Yeah,
tell
Saturday the 26th September.
tell Sean if he'd bothered to watch my show, he could have answered
for
it.
him and I to book it. So we are going to probably have to charge a little bit because we want it to not be, we'd like to get our money back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least to cover the cost of the pavilion. That's fair.
Yeah.
And we're getting some food for everybody too. So
And
so we appreciate
Lloyd Mendenhall, the grumpy blogger,
Yeah.
says that if you'd have been watching his show, you'd have been in the chat and you'd have nipped us all in the bud right from the get-go.
Laundry. I didn't know he was on.
He's laughing at you, Sean.
Yeah. Yeah. I see where I
He can't-
stand.
He says, I see where I stand in the laundry room, Lloyd. That's where you're at, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Live together?
so we're good.
Yeah, as far as I know, we are. Yeah.
Okay, and
All
you're
right.
the one that's handling that there in Dillon, right? For Kelly?
Well, Kelly booked it, so I gave him all the information. He called him and got online and booked the thing for Saturday the 26th. I called him today and actually talked to the city that runs it all, and they verified the Shores had it booked for the 26th. So.
Okay.
All right.
And then I double checked the calendar myself. Let me just pull it up. Let me just triple check it. You guys got me really second guessing myself here.
Well, it just
Let's see. Saturday, so September, and the 26th is a Saturday. Yep. So yeah, Saturday the 26th. We're booked.
okay.
See, that's why I can't be there.
Kelly's gonna put everything up on his website soon. So just once
Okay.
it's all there, then we'll.
And by the way, you're live on the air on Lloyd's show. So
Oh, that's good to know. Hello, everybody.
That's like putting him on the spot, Mel.
So right now we are hoping that we can, if we have 50 people show up, then I think we're going to be able to say, give or take $25, which should cover the $900 fee and give us a little bit of extra to go buy burgers, dogs, Coke, sodas,
Right.
waters, that kind of stuff,
right.
And then there's a giant grill at that facility.
Ah,
And
Smoking.
so if you want to, but Kelly's going to do name tags, so it'll be like a little mini spin up, sort of.
yeah.
A little more official than the spin downs we've done in the past, but since we're not doing like a paid spin up, we thought, hey, let's pay the money to get this thing secured, so that we have a spot to actually meet up. Because we could do it up here. I mean, there's tons of other spots we could go that would be free, but this is, I mean, it's got seats, it's got benches, it's got a grill.
Yeah.
It's just guaranteed. It's right walking distance from the hotel that we're trying to get a block of rooms at right now. We're working out the details of that right now. It's literally walking distance from the hotel to that spot.
Well, sounds like you guys got it under control for now.
Yeah, you still have me second guessing myself, so I'm gonna probably call again tomorrow and just triple check. But yeah, as far as I know, we got it on Saturday, September 26th. Cost us $900. Right now, they think the social distancing thing should be lessened by the time September rolls around. So
yeah, and it's not going to be a problem any damn way.
I don't think so.
All we got to do is stand 5 or 4 feet apart or 6 feet apart, you know. You don't sleep in the same bed with somebody else, and it's golden. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
If this is live on Lloyd's show, let me bring something up here, because this is something I'd like to do to make this even cooler. Instead of it just being a straight hangout, because I can't stand just not working. You know, I got to be doing something myself. I'm one of those kind of people.
Yeah.
So I thought, what if we have some informal classes, right? We could do here's just some ideas. You guys discuss this after I get off the phone, and if you come up with some good ideas, let me know. But say, for example, you know, I do a lot of 360 camera stuff. Maybe people are interested in how the 360 camera works. I do a little thing where I film it, show everybody how to actually edit it, and how you could then take that into Premiere, Final Cut, whatever, and do more with it. Hands-on, right? And then another one we could do something like some kind of hands-on drone flying tips kind of thing. If somebody wants to do that, maybe a demo with the Skydio.
We've got to interrupt this for a news bulletin just for a quick moment. A very high-level celebrity just joined Lloyd's show and is now typing in chat.
Really? Is Tom Cruise in the chat?
Better than Tom Cruise. This is Aldrin Estacio from Flight Path. Welcome, Aldrin.
Right.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Well, I don't see it because I'm not in the chat. But
Yeah, Aldrin, we've got Sean Oz on the phone, and he's out in Dillon, Colorado. That's where he lives. So.
Well, hopefully he'll be able to join us for Spin Down. I don't know.
Hey.
I haven't gotten around to telling a lot of people yet, because my next step is to go out and make a video of the area that it's going to be, the hotel, maybe the eatery that we might choose, and the shop, because the day before we're going to do an early thing, and we're going to set up, Kelly and I talked about it today, we're going to set up a live on his channel, my channel, so that it's pumping out to both of us, and we want to have anyone that comes early can join us. I'm going to gut out the tattoo area, so there's a lot of space for everybody to come into the shop. We'll have a nice background set up. And anyone there early, I want to bring them all on and do like a 15-minute like question and answers. Let everybody promote their own channels on our channels, that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool.
I think it would.
Yeah.
A nice way to give back to everybody too, you know?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great idea. And I know you talked about that the other day, but.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I was thinking, that's why I thought it might be cool to make the Spin Down event, instead of us just hanging out from like 8 to 8, actually have little mini classes. Like, that's why I thought a how to YouTube class could be cool, you know, like do a quick little show how you could do a quick 2-minute video, whether it be a vlog, how to do a descriptive thing, how myself or somebody else does it, as well as then go through the process, how I take the footage and splice it together.
Yeah. I'll update you, Aldrin. I've got your email too, so. Aldrin says you've got his number, so.
I might. I think I might have got it while we were at Bid Summit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll let you go finish your laundry, Sean, but we wanted to try to get the actual information from the horse's mouth, since it seemed to be a debate in the chat. You know.
Nope, it looks like
Hey, Mel.
it's moving forward as planned. Like I said,
Bill.
I'll double check. I'll triple check, because I double checked today. But I'll triple check just to be sure tomorrow that
Okay.
that date is accurate. But
Yeah,
as
Lloyd,
far
what?
as I know,
Yeah, ask Sean if they had to change the venue or something. I think that's where Bill might have got confused.
Did they change venue or something like that, maybe? Or is it still at the same pavilion there by the marina outside the hotel?
Yes, it's right. Yep, exactly right there. That's where it's going to be.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
No. So I just something got misconstrued or misunderstood somewhere. It sounds like, and
Yeah.
you know how
Well,
it is when you have a group of people sit in a circle. One person says one thing, by the time it gets all the way back around, it's something else.
Yeah.
that's the way my
I'll
show
Okay.
always is.
throw Lloyd's show
Well,
on right now, folding
and,
the clothes.
and
so
the
I can hear you.
information will be forthcoming once everything's nailed down for sure and all that,
Of
and
course, yeah. I'll
and
make a
blah
video
blah
on my
blah.
channel. Kelly will have a link to it so that everyone can get name tags and put the $25 down or 35, or he's got to calculate the math just to make sure it levels out, because we don't really want to be $900 out of our pocket for this, but
Yeah.
he's figuring all that out. I'm trying
Yeah.
to convince him to keep it as low as possible. You know?
Right.
But it wouldn't hurt to get a little money back for the food, or hell, maybe we'll just not charge for the food and we'll buy a bunch and, you know, say, hey, if you want to buy some food, here's $5 for a burger and soda or something.
Yeah. All right, man. Well,
All right.
thanks for spending time with us, Sean.
Yeah, I'm actually going to jump on your show right now and just listen to it while I fold clothes.
It's on Lloyd's now, the Grumpy Blogger. You got.
All right.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll be there in a second. Thanks, guys.
all right.
All right, man.
Okay. Well, there we go. You got
Well,
it
there
from the
you go,
horse's
guys.
mouth.
That's straight.
Yeah.
That's straight from Sean. So
Yeah,
as far as
it's-
he knows, it's still
Yeah.
at the pavilion by the marina, right next door to the
Yeah.
hotel.
Okay. So, awesome. So,
And it might be $25 or $35 just so that you can.
oh, Steve just Steve just wants to say, "I told you so." Okay. All right. It's all fun. Yeah, exactly. So, anyways,
Hey,
that's yeah.
What else you got on the list?
Well, I was just gonna do some plugs and, you know, little housekeeping and advertising type stuff. But, you know, other than that, nothing. Why?
Because you only got 4 minutes.
I know. It's getting down, and Xeno Nation starts here. So, anyways, guys, remember Mel has these stickers. You're out of this size though, right? Or just about? Or are you out of the small one?
No, I'm actually out of the big ones. I've got one left, but
Okay.
I've got to send it to Mitch.
All right.
And,
okay.
But I've got several of the little ones left, so yeah.
It's okay,
Oh
Bill.
my God.
You know,
okay,
we do
kids.
And let me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Don't forget, when I hit 800, and God, if I ever get there, it's going to be a miracle. I just want to hit 800. Okay? I am giving this away. Let me turn on your volume. I will be giving that away courtesy of Rick Halber. It's sitting over here in a box along with this. That's when, so share my channel, tell people about, you know, just get me to 800. I've like 55 is all I got to get. 55 more people, you know.
Try to get, 55 more lost, desperate souls.
People who have nothing better to do with their time but waste it with me. And don't forget, also.
That's right.
Oops, looks like we're starting to get a little buffering. So sorry if we do, but YouTube not receiving enough. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, I've got the well, I hope it hasn't stopped. No, it hasn't. I don't know why that's. Anyways, I've got those for sale, and Steve and Chris Hope have been putting that in there. This is the that's the trucker hat, and this is what the back looks like. This is the dad hat, and this is the back of that, and this is for my that's on the right side. Yeah, that's for my conservative friends, and that's the shirt for my liberal friends, because that's got the patch on the left side. So
Yep.
I think I've just about covered all my. There's other things there. You look around in there. You might see something you like. If you don't, okay, that's all right. You know, I probably don't make. I think the most I make is like 60 cents. You know, on stuff, and but that actually pretty well covers everything I want to talk about. Please, if you can, don't forget to donate to Help at Home Jim, because, you know, he's got these heart tests coming up. And I know if you don't have insurance how expensive it is. And I appreciate the new people who've joined Flypath. I'm glad you joined tonight. I'm very honored. And Bob Casey, Steve Carpenter.
Aldrin was supposed to come on. Aldrin was supposed to come on the show with us on a Sunday evening, but he always ends up with having the kiddos.
That's right. I remember that now. Yeah. I do remember that. He was supposed to come. Well, at least he got to see my show, the last part of it. So, with that said and done, I think I'm going to start the timer. I've got an end timer with a little different ending. You guys have noticed I'm changing some things up. Anyways, I think I've covered everything. So, Mel, I want to thank you.
Congratulations again to Jim for being shot out of the week.
Drone Kings in Darwin just showed up. He says, show must be ending. I'm here. Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, that's about it there, Drone King. Yep.
Yeah. And with that said and done, here we go.
I'm going to take that moment to say goodnight to everybody. Thanks for being part of the show. We really appreciate it. And as soon as Lloyd starts the countdown timer, we'll see you next week.
And goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much again. And I'll talk to you guys later. You know what to say. Be nice to each other. Treat each other the way you want to be treated. And I'm out of here. Bye-bye for now. Okay, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me. Don't forget, Xeno Nation is probably already running now because I ran about 8 minutes long, folks. So everybody have a good night, and I really appreciate everybody who has graced my show with their presence. It means a lot to me. And remember what I say: be nice to each other, treat each other the way you want to be treated, treat them better than you want to be treated. And I am out of here. Bye bye for now. It would have been better if I'd have had it prepared. Okay, bye bye for now, folks.